The Narcissist and Financial Abuse. Hello everyone, I'm Elizabeth Shaw and welcome to the channel, which is all about the Narcissistic personality disorder, to give you more understanding of what you might have been through within your life, how to handle those that you can't go no contact with, and most importantly, how to recover from narcissistic abuse. If you are new to the channel and you do like the information that's on the channel, please do subscribe. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers. I hope life is treating you far better now. So the narcissist and financial abuse, why they use money to abuse. Some examples of the ways a narcissist abuse you through your finances. Why they abuse through finances. Part of the narcissistic personality disorder is to exploit others. Whatever they do at any given moment is always to meet a need of their own. They lack in the empathy to care for those they use to get their needs met. They are all for power and dominance, and they will use any manipulative means possible to keep control over you. They often believe they are special and that they deserve special treatment and should get special attention. They like to get attention by any means possible, playing the hero or playing the victim. They are often jealous of others and always wanting what others have. Yet, when they have it, it's never enough for them. They are always looking for more. They are always preoccupied with power and success. They will often use whatever means possible and whatever people possible to meet their own needs. Not all will show these things, as the disorder is on a spectrum. Narcissistic or not, abuse is abuse, and you deserve to be treated so much better. The narcissist is a con artist. They are dishonest from the start. They will idolize us and feed us the false dreams of the future together, creating an illusion of what life could be like. They often start with all the lies, not that we recognise these lies at the start, as we believe people are honest, so we trust their word. Often we may not even know how much or how little money the narcissist has, as part of their disorder is a preoccupation with power and success. Some are successful, yet they will still exaggerate all achievements. Some are not successful. They will blame those around them and still lie and exaggerate about what they do or do not have. Narcissists are always looking for a replacement for love. One of their best replacements of love is money. They think they have money even if they don't have any. They believe they are entitled to it without having to earn it, as part of their disorder is that entitlement. So they think they're entitled to spend all their money and all your money. They think they're entitled to spend money that's theirs or not. They may gamble. They may use drugs. They may compulsively shop, as they will manipulatively exploit others to meet a need of their own. And they're lacking empathy. They often feel no remorse when they exploit others and take others' money, as they believe they are entitled to it anyway, their money or not. A narcissist is the master of manipulation, from gaslighting to the silent treatments. When it comes to abuse, nothing is exempt, including your money and their money. They exploit anything and everything to gain and keep control. Financial abuse is one of the most powerful ways to keep control over you and to keep you trapped in a toxic relationship. Mostly it happens in a romantic relationship. However, narcissistic parents, children and bosses can and will use financial abuse against you. 98% of abusive relationships have some form of financial abuse, especially when there are children involved. The narcissist often impacts our finances in various ways. First, they lie, and they will lie about anything, everything, and everyone to get their needs met, to con people into giving them what they demand to have. Then they threaten. Narcissistic people often meet their needs from others either through false love or fear. They can leave you without money to take care of your basic needs. They may say things like, I need petrol in my car to get to work, so I cannot give you money for food this week. They will put the family in debt, and as they believe they're entitled to anything and everything they want, it doesn't bother them. They make a mess and then they expect you to clean up after them. You may have the tightwad narcissist that'll not buy the children or even themselves things, not buy clothing. These will often not see why they have to pay maintenance for children if you split up. Some people are cheap, or some people are careful with their money. If they don't take all yours while keeping all theirs, if they manage yours how they manage their own, then it's just who they are. If they take all yours and keep all theirs, if it's a one-way street, or they exploit you to give them everything, if they'll happily take and give nothing in return. And often we accept this as normal, as we are giving out of love, not expecting anything in return. In contrast, they are only giving out of greed and always demanding a lot more in return. In one manipulative way or another, they expect something in return. If they are not pathological about it, then it's usually just who they are. If they are pathological about it, then it's not okay. Some narcissists can be generous to establish themselves of how important they are and how wealthy they are. If they buy you gifts, they will expect something back in return. These will sometimes pay maintenance for the children after the breakup, just so they can boast to others how good they are, or pity plays into how you take all their money, so they can claim they have none and use this to bleed the new supply dry. There are some great parents out there that separate and support the children because it's their children, and generous people because it's who they are, not because they want to brag or boast to other people or play the victim to other people. Some narcissists will stop you having access to money, so you're dependent on them, making it seem harder for you to leave. If you've been isolated from friends and family while lacking in funds, the fear of leaving often keeps people trapped way longer in a narcissistic relationship than they ever should be. They'll not want you buying cars in your name. They might buy you a car in their name to show others how amazing they are, or they'll be wanting you to buy them a car also in their name, or take loans out for them in your name. They may take credit cards out in your name and max them out, some without even your knowledge. The first you might hear is once you have split up and look for credit or receive that first bill. They may borrow money, then gaslight you when it comes to paying you back. I never borrowed that. You gave it to me. How can you not remember? And after all I do for you, which is often very little, but they want to guilt trip us into walking on eggshells around them and not speak up for ourselves, to feel shame for daring to ask about an agreement that we'd already made together. So we feel like we're losing our minds and that we're going crazy. A narcissist often knows the truth. They just want the attention as you try to prove it, and they will do anything they can to watch you go crazy as they deny it. As they like to control others through money, they may take your name off bank accounts or try to get you to sign over the house to them. They might not be in employment, so depending on your money, they might actually say, I don't see why I need to get a job, I'll take care of the home, and then they'll do it to their basic standard, or not do anything at all, and they'll expect you to do it, not only draining your finances, draining your energy, so your physically and mental health suffers also. Then when you're exhausted financially, emotionally and physically, you're often less able to put up a fight and more easily led by the narcissist's manipulative gaslighting words. My ex-narcissist would often have weeks off at a time and then use this as a further excuse not to pay any of the bills, borrow my money to cause an argument if I ever dared ask to pay them back. And of course, they'd cause a massive argument if I didn't have the finances to help them out. Or they would accuse me of not being loving, not being supportive, not being kind. So they guilt trip you into it. If you ask for money they owe you, you'll get things like the silent treatments, gaslighting again, I never borrowed that, you must be mistaken, or the guilt trips, don't you remember which you possibly don't remember when they did something, as most likely they never did whatever they follow that sentence up with. Most narcissists want the best of everything, so they will happily spend their money and yours on themselves, getting themselves the best of everything. Yet when it comes to you and your wants, they're not interested. Most people like new things, so if they've not got any of the other signs, they will not be a narcissist. Although if you're Googling their behaviour, trying to work out what's happening or happened to you, then there are some major red flags within that relationship, and narcissistic or not, if they are abusive mentally, physically or both, you need to find a safe way out. Narcissists use manipulative threats over money, so if you let them know you are leaving, you may hear things like, you'll not be able to afford to take care of the children, so I think I'll have to have custody. So we fear leaving and doubt our own abilities to take care of ourselves and our children. If you call them out on threats, the covert will say things such as, I didn't say that, you misunderstood me. Or they'll twist it onto something you did, intimidate you in some way. So they can train you to walk on eggshells around them, never question them, and always question yourself. If they promise you a nice holiday for weeks, then don't deliver because they've spent the money elsewhere, you'll get the, I never promised that, or you must be imagining things again. They might ask you to book and pay with a promise of giving you the money back, which you'll never receive back. If you agreed to 50-50, they will always find a way out of it. Even if that's just making you too scared to ask because of arguments they've caused in the past or the last time you dared to speak up for yourself. Financial abuse chips away at you. You doubt yourself, your stability, your sanity. You doubt your financial abilities to take care of yourself and children. So they will gaslight you with money. They will abuse you through money. They will lie about how much money they make. They will spend too much on the best car they can to look like they have money. Don't get me wrong, some people just want a nice car. If they don't have the other traits, just because someone wants a nice car does not make them a narcissist. At times it can make people seem narcissistic, but it doesn't put them on the spectrum. It doesn't make them have a disorder. Narcissists will sabotage. When you're trying to regain control of your finances, they might create situations so that you have to spend money, or so that you could not work, or find ways so that you need to take loans out for them. They will often give you no access to bank accounts. They might not allow you to do any sort of formal study to further or start a career, as they don't want you doing well for yourself. A narcissist will never lift you up, only ever temporarily to meet a need of their own, and then once met, they will drag you back down. You might be unwittingly forced to skip paying bills because they'll either need the money for something, will have played you at the start to give up your job so they can take care of you, to then barely give you anything, or they'll expect you to work while they leech off you and spend all your money. The narcissist steals from you. It's never two-way. It's never give and take. If they give, they always expect something in return. The narcissist doesn't trust others because they are very manipulative. We often don't see it while we live it, as we simply do not think how they do. So what can you do if you're still with the narcissist and looking to leave, or if you've left? They might still have control of the finances, or you might be left with a lot of debt. So you need to protect your accounts. Make sure you set up new accounts in your name only so they cannot get access to them. Change things like your passwords and your PIN numbers. Get all your documents, from birth certificates to passports, any spare money you can. Give to friends or family members. If you're isolated, try and set up a safe account somewhere. And it can be tricky if you are isolated, and they can be stalking your phones, your internet, your computers, your laptops, your PCs. They can have things on there. They can have spy software. So you do need to be careful. Try and create a budget, no matter how hard. Once you are safely out, call any loan companies or credit cards to see if you could make payment arrangements that you can afford. Change passwords, change PIN numbers. Don't feel bad asking people for help. If you can, ask people for help. Look for odd jobs, things you can sell. There's always a way to make money, and you can and you will find it. Start that course. You might get financial help to do so. Further your career. Take control back of your life. The best revenge is leaving them in the past, living your life for you, and being successful in those things that you always wanted to do but couldn't through fear when you were with them. Yet now you're free to live life for you. Money is only money at the end of the day, and yes, it can be devastating losing it all. It can be devastating being left in lots of debt. If you've earned it before, you will find a way to earn it again. If you haven't earned it before, you will find a way to earn it. If you are at risk setting up new accounts, call domestic abuse shelters and get to safety. If possible, take in your essential documents that you can get hold of. If it's putting you at risk, don't worry, it can be sorted later on. Your safety right now comes first. Everything else can be sorted out afterwards, and everything else will get sorted out afterwards. Don't look at the big picture of all the things that you do need to sort out. Take it step by step, day by day. Look at getting out, and then slowly, bit by bit, sorting everything else out. It will all come together. You will get out safely, and you will move on to a much happier life. Others have broken free from the narcissist and from financial abuse, and they have succeeded. So can you. Believe you deserve better, because you do. Remember, recovery is all about baby steps. So celebrate each and every achievement, no matter how small, no matter how big. You can and you will get there. In the description, I shall add some links on where you can join me on social media. I shall also add the links for the domestic abuse helplines in the UK. It's a bit tricky in the States because there's often different states have different helplines, but I'll see what I can add in there for anybody that needs that. I shall add the videos to explain more on how narcissists use intimidation against you, the narcissist word salad, and the one about leaving, which might be a bit trickier with the times that are currently going on. Might have to adapt a few things, but there is ways to leave, and there is ways to leave safely. You can get out of this relationship if you are still in it, and if you are out, it can be devastating, but there is always a way back up, and you will find that way back up. Thank you for listening. Bye.